Hello everyone, I'm Amitesh Rajwat and let's start with today's problem. So the question is, given an array of integers, return the indices of two numbers such that they add up to a specific target. So the question is, we have given a particular array. What we have to do is we have to find two numbers, two indices which totally sum up to the target that we want. Suppose the array is given 2, 7, 11 and 15 and our target is 9. What we have to do is we have to find two elements which sum up to 9. So here as we can see the numbers are 2 and 7. So the indices will be 0, 1. So that's what we have to do. So I'll teach you two approaches to solve this problem. The first approach will be the brute force method. What we do in brute force method is we iterate the whole array for each and every element. Like if we have 4 elements present in this array, what we'll do is we'll iterate to the whole array once for 2, then for 7, then for 11, then for 15. For the first element 2, we'll iterate through whole array and check which number there is present inside that array which sums up to the target, that is 9. For the element 2, we'll iterate for 7, 11 and 15. For 7, we'll iterate 11 and 15. We are calculating for 11, 15 for 7 because we have already checked for 2. That will be 2 plus 7 is all equal to 7 plus 2. Okay, for 11 we'll check with 15. So this will be the first approach, the brute force method. So let's try and code it. Our second pointer j will start to iterate after the ith element. Suppose for the first case we are iterating through 2. For the next case the j will loop from here to here. So that means that whenever we have kept like I is equal to 0, we'll start from j is equals to 1. So what we'll do here, we'll keep j is equals to I plus 1. J is less than array dot. Now what we'll do is we'll check whether the sum of two elements sums up to the limit that we are targeting. Okay, so that will be if array of I plus array of j is equal to the limit. As we can see, the return type is integer array. It means that we have to create an array. We have to return an array that contains the indices of the both elements. So what we'll do here is we'll create an array result of size 2. So if the two elements matches the limit, we'll store those elements. That will be result of 0 is equal to I, the first index, and result of j, result of 1 is equal to j, the second index. After that we break this loop. Yeah, we are good to go. So what will return result. Okay, so let's try and run this code. Yep, this passes the base case. Now let's submit this. Okay, so as what we can see here is the runtime which it is taking is 70 milliseconds, which is quite high for a problem to be solved. How can we improve the time complexity? Here the time complexity will be n square because we are using two for loops and we are iterating for each and every element. We are iterating through whole array. For that we'll use the second approach using hashmap. What hashmap contains is it contains a key pair values. For each and every key it contains a particular value for that. How will we use the hashmap inside this question? What we are planning is, suppose we have a target of 9 and for the first case we find out a 2. Now to reach the target of 9 we need a 7, so that we'll get 2 plus 7 is equal to 9. Then what we'll do is we'll store the number 7 and the index of number 2 inside our hash map. So whenever if we find a number 7 that is present inside that array, that means that it reaches to the limit. So we'll take the index of the present element and the index of the 2. So this will sum up to the limit. So for that we'll just create a hash map. Both the key pair values are of integer type. Hashmap. Okay, so this is the hash map that we have created. What we'll do, for each and every element, we'll check whether that value is present inside the hash map. That means that we have a number that sums up to the target. So what we'll check is if h dot contains the key value, that means the current element that we are iterating, if it does not contains that element, that's why we have kept a not. So what we'll do, we'll add that element inside the hash map. So that will be h dot put. We'll find an alternate element for this, so we'll add limit minus array of I, and we'll add the present index of the element. Now the else condition means that we have found out the pair which sums up to 9. Then we'll store this inside the result. So that will be result of 0 is equals to h dot get. This is, so now this array of I is the key value, and we'll get the this is the key, and we'll get the value corresponding to this key. So that value will be the index of the previous element that we have stored, and result of 1 will store the current index. So that will be result of I. After that we'll return the result. Now let's try and run this code. Okay, it's accepted. Submit it. Okay, so now as you have seen, we have improved a lot from 70 milliseconds to 5 milliseconds. So this will be the approach, this will be the best approach for this problem. Now let's see then what is the time complexity and the space complexity. Here we have used a hash map which is of size n, that means which is the size of the whole array. So that means that the space we have used is order of n. For the time complexity, we have iterated each element just once inside the array. So that means the time complexity sums up to be order of n. So that's all for today's question. If you have any queries, write down in the comment box. If you like the video, give a thumbs up. Share and subscribe this video. See you next time.